Will blacks ever respected in America like they should be? How they should be, I guess, is a matter of opinion. So I can't really answer that question, to be honest with you. If you're talking about equal to white, then I think that's the wrong metric. I think you should always measure it based on your previous self, not somebody else. What helps to not ejaculate quick? Man, I done said this so many times. Orgasms are caused through tension. Like when you're pushing out in a stroke, that's tension. You are creating tension. That's what makes it feel good. The more you push out, the more tension. So you have to find the sweet spot that allows you to, in a sense, be able to rock back and forth without building up so much tension that you come fast. A missionary, what's the secret to hit the G-spot? This is not a wall. This is supposed to be the vagina. He has to make his hips drop in a sense so that he's aimed up. When the base goes down and the front goes up, then he can kind of scrape against the ceiling and the G-spot will be right there. Trump or Kamala Trump, what do you think is going to happen after the election? If Trump wins, I think you're going to see behavior from the Democrat side that they demonized the Republican side for doing last election.
You can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
The one thing that Trump is fearful of when it comes to his being president is that finally we will see how illegitimate his victory actually was.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he knows he didn't. He knows he's an illegitimate president.
Favorite motion with women on top that isn't basic? I prefer the basic when a woman is on top. I don't really want her bouncing on me and shit. I'm afraid she's going to break me. When did you start realizing this stuff in politics? Were you a liberal before? Yeah, I was a liberal. I didn't know I was a liberal, though. In my opinion, the reason that it's so easy for cops to kill black men and for it not to necessarily be an uproar to the world is because of the villainization of the black man or the demonization of the black man through media. I started to realize it when George Floyd died because I'm like, wow. Every time you see someone getting killed by the police, it's always a black person being killed by a white person. I wondered if any white people are ever killed by the police, and then I went and looked, and I said, wow, there's a lot of white people killed by the police. How come we never hear about it? I post that on my page. People attack me in the comments. This is like the first time I ever made one of those type posts. Somebody DM'd me a tweet from Candace Owens, and she was asking the same question. And when I saw it, I ain't gonna lie, my heart dropped. Boom. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm saying the same shit as Candace Owens? Because at that time, I believed that black people weren't supposed to listen to her. They DM'd me that tweet. I DM'd them. I don't know. Black people don't listen to Candace Owens. And they DM'd me. Listen, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is ever since I watched this video, she sent me this clip of a video, I've been going down a rabbit hole. So I decided to listen. And when I listened to what she was saying, the things she was saying about the Democrats, I'm like, that can't be true. But at that time, I was in my 30s. So I'm like, I've never heard this shit before, so that can't be true. And then I go in and I had to look at, fact check everything that she was basically saying, and everything she said came out to be true. Problem with the white people and the black people being killed is the fact that the cops usually get off killing black people. You only know that because you've only heard the stories of black people being killed. They sat on the guy for 14 minutes, which is longer than sitting on George Floyd. The guy screamed for help, and they ignored him. He had his face down in the ground. You could hear him gurgling, coughing for air and stuff. He dies. They're making jokes while he's dead. They don't even know he's dead.
Tony! Hey! Back to school. Wake up. I don't want to go to school, Mom.
And they got off. No asphyxiation was found. They said that he died from excited delirium because he was on cocaine. So they said that's what killed him. The cops got off. George Floyd's, they got locked up. What is your research on the illegal immigrations eating pets? I know what you mean. The illegal immigrants eating pets. I know what you mean.
Chat là, quitter chat en bas des marais pour pas prendre.
Yeah, pour qu'ils aillent apprendre.
Pour manger.
Oh, she says that she is keeping this little cat here and she's tying it up so that nobody steals it. And I said, well, why would someone steal it? And she says, because they'll eat it.
I think what happens is when we make the issue about race, it becomes something that doesn't get to have any nuance. If you were to go back and search just a little bit, you'll actually find videos of people cooking cats.
What is this they got on the grill?
Is that, did they kill some cats?
Man, listen, man. There go a cat right there. His ass better get missing, man. Look like his homies on the grill, man. What the fuck?
Damn, it's crazy how many people dipped out the moment you start talking about orgasms. Some people are so whack. It's expected. No offense to my new conservatives and post-liberals and people that are here for politics, but when I start talking about orgasms again, you're going to see people kind of react the same way in the comments. That's how it goes. I'm not conservative. I can't be conservative because I like record myself having sex on camera and stuff like that. So that's not a conservative thing. I'm like the guy in the church that plays drums, but I don't really believe in Jesus. But I think everybody in there is nice. I think that their ideas are the best for us. I do think that. Why do people keep saying Kamala ran the country, had the opportunity? When have you heard of the vice president running the country at the same level as the president, unless the president is unfit? Yeah, Joe Biden is unfit. He's been in cognitive decline for the last 4 years. They just been pretending that he hasn't. So when he did the debate, it was very obvious, and then they took him out of the way, and then they put Kamala up. So yeah, he's been unfit for 4 years. Why do white people keep saying she's not black? Why do people keep making it seem like black people not saying she's not black? We always say someone with a drop of black is black, so why is that changed? No, the one drop rule, it comes from white racist people. It doesn't come from black people. That's not ours. I don't understand why we continue to use that to affirm our identity or bring other people into the group. I don't understand that. Why don't you ever talk about what Republicans do or any other faults, especially if you don't consider yourself conservative? What would you like to know? What is a evil thing or a nefarious thing or a plot to hurt the black community that you aren't aware of, that you never heard about? That's what I don't understand. Do you plan on voting Republican? I think then it would be fair to you to say that you want to be educated on Republicans. If you already have your mind made up on them, then what else would you need to know? What do you mean nobody blames any vice president? If I'm not mistaken, Bush's vice president had like a weapons company, and then they went to war, and they were saying, yeah, see, he wanted to go to war so that he could sell his weapons and make billions of dollars or something like that. What do I feel is up with the assassinations? I think that people hate Trump enough to try to kill him. I think when you tell people that he's a threat to democracy and that he's Hitler, you should expect somebody to try to kill him. If you could go back in time and kill baby, helpless Hitler, would you do it? Most people would. Now, how would you feel about Hitler's supporters? Do you care if anything negative or painful or anything happens to them? No. Why? Because they're Hitler supporters, right? They're subhuman in that sense. So think about it. What they're doing is reversing that whole othering. They're doing the othering to the people that are supposed to be doing the othering. They're making the Trump supporters and Trump the others. They're making them the Hitler and the Nazis. But the Democrats have policies that are helping black people while Republicans are trying to get rid of protections. Black people don't need any policies for help. That's the problem. People are looking for the Democrats for help, not recognizing the sabotage that has come from that. That every time they've helped us, it's actually backfired on us. We need to stop relying on the government. That they have only expanded and expanded and expanded because of black people. Because of the policies that we have asked for, it has allowed them to expand and expand and expand further and further into our lives. We don't need more help from the Democrats or the Republicans. We need to do for ourselves. That's what we need to do. Bro, what are your techniques to manifesting? Like when you are charting a path on a map, you got the little red pen, take the little yarn and stick it around it, and go up to another pen and stick it around it like that. The pen to where you're going is the neural network of the self that you want to be. You have to create that here. The pen here is a neural network that you have. The neural network is your gang of habits, routines, your personality, basically. And you can reshape that. Your neural network is shaped by the experiences that you have and how they make you feel. When you have a feeling, that means that experience was recorded in here as a neural connection. 2 neurons fired or whatever, and then they wire it together. And that you get to feel that as a feeling in your body. That's how you know when a memory is created. You can imagine a future experience that reflects the reality that you want to have happen. You imagine what it would be like having a conversation with somebody about that thing. That's what I do. I imagine having a conversation about it, and I do that over and over again. I do it until I feel it, and then I look at the person's face when I'm talking to them. You'll see their emotion. Like if you want to make yourself happy, imagine talking to your friend about good news and them being happy for you, like a big smile on their face, eyes all bright. But you do that to trick yourself into believing that is what's actually happening. What you're imagining is actually happening. And once the subconscious mind switches over into using that as your reality data stream or whatever, what it'll then do is it's going to make your feeling state match what you're imagining. So it's going to send chemicals into your body to resonate with the image that it thinks is actually happening. once the body feels that way, that means that it has been recorded as a memory. You do it over and over and over again. The more you do it, the stronger the memory. Eventually, you have a memory that stays. Like when you practicing the piano, that memory doesn't stay the first time you do it. You have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And then at first you're like, dun, 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 dun. And then the next thing you know, it's like, dun, 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 dun. And you can do it without even thinking, because you've programmed the neural network in your brain, and now the body knows it better than you know it. You've turned it into a habit. Who you are is a habit. So if you use your imagination to bring yourself through experiences that shape memories of a future event, or a future self that hasn't occurred yet. When you create a new self, you're creating a new comfort zone. The subconscious mind's job is to keep you in a comfort zone. So when you create that new self, it's going to elevate you to that person. That's what it's going to do, without you even having to try. The principle is seek ye first the kingdom, and then where does he say the kingdom is? The kingdom is within. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things will be added, right? Seek ye first the kingdom. It doesn't say seek ye first the things. It says if you do that, that's like the Gentiles or the heathens. That's like what the heathens do, the people who don't have God or don't know God. The people who know God go within, see it, and manifest it. When it says, believe that you have received whatsoever you desire, believe that you have received. How do you believe that you have received something that you don't have in your imagination? You get to experience it in your imagination. You want that new car, whatever it is, you can't just drive in it. There's no car for you to drive, right? How do you have the new car before you have the new car? You have it in your imagination. You experience it. You live in it. You can smell it. You can touch it. You can drive past people who see you in it in your imagination. You get to have that experience as many times as you want until you build the neural network of being the person who actually has that car. And then it'll by clockwork, you'll go and do the things that you actually need to do to get the car. That's how it works. That's how I manifest. How can someone pull themselves out of depression? Like, how can you feel better and not temporarily? Hold on, let me pause this real quick. So you have to be able to shift your paradigm. There's several ways you can shift your paradigm. If you plop yourself down into a whole new culture where you don't speak the language, don't eat any of the food, don't understand the utensils, the street signs, all that stuff, it's going to be a very, very big culture shock. Eventually, though, you start to understand what that sign means. You start to understand the words. You start to understand what food is good and what food isn't good and things like that. You start to assimilate to that culture. You have to kind of create something like that of happiness. Your body has to become addicted to being that type of person. That's what it boils down to being. When you change your comfort zone, you can be in a negative relationship, hate it, and then break up with that person and then miss it like a motherfucker because your body has become addicted to that. You have to find a way to become addicted to that person that you want to be. One of the things you can do, like I said, creating a new culture. The movies that make you feel good, like The World is Great, watch those consistently. That has to be your media. Listen to music that makes you feel that way. That has to be your media. Like, you don't allow anything else in. Like I said, you're creating a new culture. Listen to people that make you feel that way. Read books that make you feel that way. Have conversations that make you feel that way. And fast from everything else. You do that for about 30 days to 90 days. When you come out of that cycle, the world is going to feel different. It might look exactly the same, but the next time you get into an interaction that would trigger you to go back to that place, your response might be the same, but your perspective of what just happened is going to be different. You'll be aware that you're doing it. You'll be aware in a different way, and that awareness is going to make it means that you're now uncomfortable. But it means the body has changed its comfort zone, so that awareness is going to continually make you check your behaviors. It'll make you conscious of it, and that little bit of consciousness is what allows you to change. That little bit of consciousness before the automatic behavior is what causes you to be able to eventually gain the distance between the instant reactions, so you'll be able to change. I'm only on 2%, so I know my phone is about to die. I would say watch Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and listen to Byron Katie. Those two things will help out greatly. Much success to you. Catch me in here again. I'll be more than willing to talk to you about this, for real. All right, thank y'all for chilling with me, man. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.